Hello, friends. I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you doing today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I was recently just kind of searching through my Nintendo Switch wish list. And while I was doing that, I was conscious of the fact that I was not looking for anything in particular. I was just looking for anything. And it really made me think about why I was doing that. Like, why were there things on this wish list? Obviously, there's games that I want to play. And games come out all the time, and some of them I say, oh, I want to play that. Some of them I don't. But at this particular juncture in time, there are some games that I want that I just don't have the money for. Fine. I just save up and I buy them eventually. Or I ask for them for gifts or whatever. But in this particular instance, I was just browsing. And part of the reason is that I finished Link's Awakening, and then I was playing a game called... what was that game called? I don't know. Whatever it was. I was playing another game for a little bit, but then, that kind of died off, and now I don't have a game to play. And I don't have a game to play, and I'm not currently reading any books, and I don't have any major projects going on, like a desk that needs built or anything like that. I do have a small project going on that I need to work on, but when that happens, when I don't have that thing that is my identity for that moment in time, I tend to kind of wander and drift and look for things. And I think what I realized was I was looking for like a new dopamine injection. I was looking for something to spark that, oh, I got to do that. Because once you get that spark and you really get into whatever it is you're doing, whether it's playing a video game or reading a book or making something or, whatever, there's a high that's associated with that. And when it ends, there's a low. And for me, that low is oftentimes pretty dramatic. It's pretty powerful. So I realized I was searching for a fix. Like, I wasn't searching for a game that I, wanted to play. I was searching for a game that A, I could afford to play at this moment in time, and B, just because I didn't have a fix. I needed something. And so I just shut it off. I just turned the switch off and, kind of sat inside my head for a little while, got up, did some chores, cook some food sort of stuff. And it really made me think about those moments that I get hyper with something, whatever that something is. And, is there a healthy way to play video games, for instance? Let's stick with video games, because that's what I was doing when I had this moment. But it's not necessarily about video games. It's just about that rush that comes with it. I've always said I don't have an addictive personality, and that's not true. I know it's not true. I don't have an addictive personality in that I don't get addicted to a thing. I know people who have been severely addicted to drugs and alcohol and escapism or sex or whatever it might be, and for them it's a thing. They have their thing, and that's all they want to do. I've never been like that. I've never been, I've done a lot of things that would be considered addictive behaviors, but they always fizzle out. Like, I just lose interest in them and move on to something else. So I've said that I don't have an addictive personality because it's very hard for me to get stuck on something. But I do get stuck on things for short-term periods, for months sometimes, for, weeks usually, sometimes months, sometimes years. And chasing that need can be destructive. And I have to wonder, like, how do people who don't have that same connection to, say, video games, where it's a dopamine rush or it's a reward, how, I know people who are capable of playing lots of different video games at one time. They'll be playing this for a little while, they'll take a break, go to play something else, come back. I've never been able to do that. If I take a break from a game, I'm never playing it again. It's just never going to come back into my life. And I don't know why that is or how that is. And so I was just thinking about all of that, and I was wondering, how common is that for people to, have that drive to need a thing, not necessarily one thing, but just anything for a brief period of time. How common is that? And two, how do you handle what that crash that comes once the thing is done? Like once you've wrapped up a book or wrapped up a video game or wrapped up with something, do you just move on right into something else, or is there a lull where you don't do a thing for a while and then you feel like something's missing? Because I haven't turned the Switch on in quite a while to play a game. So just curious. That's all I have for you today. I hope you have a good weekend. I hope you get to spend some time with family and friends. Yeah, let me know if you do. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends, being wonderful people. I appreciate you, and I will see you on Monday. Alexa, tell me a random fact.
There's a basketball court on the top floor of the Supreme Court building in Washington, D.C. It has the punning name the highest court in the land.
I get it now.